Mettanisamsa Sutta. We have selected the certain suttas from Sutta Pitaka, but some of them come from the Book of Protection. So this is a sutta named the Mettanisamsa. This is also reflected in the Book of Protection, but originally it comes from Sutta Pitaka. Bhante, Sheila and myself selected some important suttas for cannot see, yeah? Yesterday also same problem. Correct. Can see. Yes. Oh. Now you can see, huh? Okay. So in the novitiate program, we selected some important suttas which are related to our life. So Mettanisamsa Sutta also one such. How to cultivate our loving kindness. Or on the other hand, we can say the advantages of the loving kindness, benefits of the loving kindness, how we understand and how we spread the loving kindness towards the world, in the entire world. So this is what we have to practice every day. So in first, we have to understand what is loving kindness as an introductory level. First, we have to understand what is loving kindness. It can be said that the friendliness or metta, or we can say being a friend for others. So this is what we can understand as metta. Metta is not only a emotion. We say that metta as a emotion. So metta is not only a emotion, but also cultivated cultivated mental state. It's a cultivated mental state. Therefore, we cannot understand as only a emotion. We have that emotion, but in the Mettanisamsa and also in the Mettanisamsa meditation, it is not a emotion. So that emotion we should be developed, cultivated. That is the important fact. Otherwise, we cannot gain the advantage. We cannot obtain that advantage. Therefore, we have to cultivate. How to cultivate the metta bhavana, or how to cultivate the this state according to the Buddhism. That is the important. So therefore, in first we have to understand this is the friendliness for its characteristic. When we consider the own characteristic of the metta bhavana, that is the friendliness. That is the own characteristic of the loving kindness. So usually it promotes to the friendliness. Always it promotes. So if we see that, if we think that we have the enemies we have anger, and also if we have ill will, so we cannot promote the metta. We have to eliminate such defilements. Therefore, we have to expand the friendliness. That is the important. And also, it disappears the ill will. What is ill will? Ill will is called the avyapada. In Buddhism, we have avyapada. The patiga and avyapada. There are two words in Pali, patiga and avyapada. Patiga is the anger. Anger. Ill will is not similar to the anger. If we develop the anger, we gain the ill will. Ill will is the state of danger. It causes for our sansaric life. So we have to disappear, we have to eliminate the ill will. When we develop, when we cultivate the loving kindness, we can eliminate the ill will. That is the important. First, we have to refrain from such defilements, then we would be able to develop the loving kindness. So, therefore, this is not only an emotion, always we have to cultivate to gain our advantages. So, it is one such important. So, if we expand, if we develop, if we cultivate the loving kindness, we are friendly to the whole world. That means to all environment, and also for the animals, humans, even for the trees and the creepers. This is how we cultivate the ill will. So the loving kindness. Then we would be the lovable people because we don't have anger, we don't have ill will, we are always in the pleasant moment. Therefore, people, those who practice loving kindness, they are so lovable people. So, have you ever heard the word brahma-vihara? That is not the temple. Hmm? Brahma-vihara is the temple around us. So, what is the brahma-vihara? Brahma. Brahma is called the Brahma. You know who is the Brahma. Brahma is the creator. Prajapati. So, he is the greatest one in the Hinduism. He is called the Brahma. Vihara. Vihara means abiding. Brahma Vihara means divine abiding. Divine abiding. So, why Buddhism takes Brahma as a word, as a noun? Why we take? Because Brahma is not in the Buddhism. Brahma comes from Hinduism. Then why we take Hindu words? Even though Buddhism has taken the Hindu words, it gives the new interpretation. That is the important. So we have our own interpretation with regard to the Brahma. Though in Hinduism, Brahma is the God, creator, Prajapati. Then who is the Brahma in Buddhism? We also have Brahma. We have two Brahmas in Buddhism. In Hinduism, they have only one Brahma. We have two Brahmas. Who are they? Brahmati Mata Pitaro. Father and mother, or parents. In Buddhism, parents are the Brahma. That's a new interpretation. We do not reject their words, we take them, but we give the new interpretation for those words. That is the beauty of the Buddhism. So, in Buddhism, we have Brahmana. We have Brahmana. Who are the Brahmanas in Buddhism? You know, Brahmanas in Hinduism, they are highest. They teach, they study, and they advise how to govern the country. So they are the highest level of people in India. They are Brahmins. In Buddhism, we also have Brahmins. Who? Bahita papoti Brahmano. Those who eradicated the defilements, they are called the Brahmins. That means the arahants. We can say arahants are called Brahmins because they don't have defilements. And also Brahmins are called the Dvija, twin borns. They have born twice. Brahmins usually born twice. How? First, they born from the mother's womb. This is their firstborn. Second, after being a Brahmin, in the age of 7, they do their religious functions. After that, he can be a Brahmin. After that, he can do the religious functions. Otherwise, nobody considered as the Brahmin. In the age of 7, they have religious functions. Then they announce that he is a real Brahmin. He can do the prayers. Likewise, they born twice. How monks become twice born? We are also Brahmins. We also have born twice. How? First, we have born from mother's womb. The second, as a monk. As a monk. This is our new life, newborn. But it is a permanent monkhood. It is the second born. Again, we cannot appear as a layman. So therefore, monks also called Dvija, like Brahmins. So likewise, Buddhism gives the new interpretation for those words. We use them, but the different meanings. Likewise, we have divine abidings, Brahma Vihara in Buddhism. There are four Brahma Viharas. So why we need the divine abidings? To make a relationship. We must have a relationship among the people. We have to understand them. We have to realize them. We have to know who they are, how they think, what are the characteristics they have, what type of characters they have. We have to understand. Without understanding, we cannot make the relationship. Cannot. First, we have to understand the characters of the people. Do you know the characters of the people? Do you try to understand their characters? We try to recognize them. We have 6 characters. Even though we are nearly 20, only 6 characters appeared here. Only 6. Raga, dosa, moha, saddha, buddhi, vitakka. These are the 6 characters in the world. These are the 6 characters. So we have to understand who they are. Raga, some people are lustful, they are passionate. So they have their own character. Some of them are getting angry, always getting angry. They are dosa. They are dosa charita. Always unpleasant, cannot make please them. So they are dosa. Some of them are not happy. Always they are complicated, confused. There is no problem, no issues, but they are complicated. That is the characteristic of moha. Some of them are wise, buddhi. So likewise, we have different characters. Then the problem is we don't know who we are. Do you know who you are? Can you recognize yourself who you are? Nobody can. Nobody can understand who we are. Sometimes, with regard to our feelings, with regard to our thought, we feel that I should be like this. But in next moment, it would be changed. We cannot understand who we are. That is the problem. When we meditate, we discuss with the teachers. They are called the Kammatana Charya. They guide the students or the pupils in the meditation. They know who is this. After discussing, after observation, after contemplating, they say that this should be like that character. Otherwise, we cannot imagine because our wisdom is not developed to understand in such state. We are not developed. We are trying to develop, but we are not developed so far. Therefore, we have to understand each other. If we know those characters, we can make relationship without any hesitation. Because problems may not occur. We can understand the way of thinking and way of behavior. We can understand this is the way of him. That is not the fault of him. This is the way of thinking. This is the misunderstanding. We can understand that. That relationship remains forever. Otherwise, we cannot make our relationship for last. That is the problem. Therefore, we have to understand how to make the relationship with the living beings. So, the problem is understand through those characters, how we make that relationship forever. Because we are humans, we are changed. Our whole thoughts are changed time and again. That is the problem. So, in the morning, we struggle to keep our mind in a good position. The next morning, that thought would be changed. Because our thoughts always forced to change. That is the problem. We cannot keep in a peaceful way because we are the ordinary people. That's why we are changed. So anyway, when we live as a human being, we have to understand others to make the relationship. What are the 4 divine abidings? What are the brahma-viharas? First one is Metta. The second one is Karuna. Third one is Mudita. Final one is Upekka. These 4 qualities, according to the Hinduism, they believe that Brahma has. Brahma has these 4 qualities. He is unchanged, he remains forever, Therefore, it is a entity. Therefore, it has these four qualities. Buddhism says that Brahma is the parent. Therefore, parents have these four qualities. Parents have Metta, parents have Karuna, parents have Mudita, and even Upekka. Hinduism believes that these qualities usually connected with the Brahma, but Buddhism says these qualities are related to the parents. The parents have metta, loving kindness towards the children. Towards the children. So this is how we extend our loving kindness from our home. We have to extend from our home. Then go to the society. Then go to the country. Then finally we extend our loving kindness towards the world. This is the way of metta. We must have the loving kindness. It is not only an emotion. Gradually we have to cultivate. From the children we have to start. Then we go to our siblings, our kith and kins, and also our the people who are living in the society, known and unknown. So we have to expand this. It would be a cultivated mental state. Those who have the loving kindness, then next level goes to the compassion or piti karuna. We must have the compassion. If our heart shake when we see others' pain, that is called the karuna. We must have pain when we see others' pain, others' misery, others' suffering. If we do not consider their suffering, that means we do not have the compassion or pity. So we must be able to understand their misery, their emptiness, their suffering, their pain. Then once we see like that of the compassion, we can do something for them, for the elimination of their suffering. This is what we develop the compassion or pity. Parents usually have the compassion towards their children. They are always painful for their children. What will happen? What will happen to his future? Always they are thinking of the children. This is the way of karuna. Mudita, gladness at others' success. When we see the success of others, we must be glad. We must be happy. Others' success, not our success. We always try to be happy among us, within us. But we have to think of others. If one can be glad when they see others' success, it would be the mudita. We have mudita hole, mudita hole. When we enter to the mudita hole, we have to know what is the meaning of mudita. Then we have to practice mudita. Some people do not want to see others' success. They get angry. They pass the hints. They misunderstand it. They spread against their success something. That is the way of mind. Some people do not feel. They are getting jealous when they see others' success. That is not the mudita. If we have mudita, we would be able to glad when we see others' success. So we have to cultivate into that state. If we can feel like that, we are success in mind. So that is the way of mudita. Everybody has equanimity, upekka. So these are the four great qualities of the Brahma in Hinduism and Buddhism. So in Hinduism they said that the different type of states Brahma had, but Buddhism says the directly four qualities are compatible with the Brahma as parents. So this is how we cultivate the loving kindness, compassion, gladness at others' success, finally equanimity. So these are not only to see what they are, how to practice. They are not only to hear as Dhamma. We have to practice day by day how to cultivate these qualities within us. Okay. Then let's go to the Mettanisamsa Sutta. What are the advantages of the Metta or loving kindness? Now we know what is loving kindness, how to cultivate, and what are the qualities of the divine abidings, including Metta. So this is very simple as well. Thus I have heard. So in all suttas, it starts with the thus I have heard. Why start with this statement? This is very important. This is not the statement of the Buddha. This is the statement of the Venerable Ananda in the first Buddhist council. Today you discuss on the first Buddhist council, how the word of the Buddha preserved in the first Buddhist council by the Mahakassapa and the other elder monks, how they preserved up to now, how they collected the words of the Buddha, how they collected the how they overlapped those books into the Sutta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, and the finally Abhidhamma Pitaka. So in the first Buddhist council, Venerable Mahakassapa asked a question from the Venerable Ananda regarding the Mettanisamsa. Buddha has mentioned the advantages of the loving kindness. Buddha has mentioned, Buddha has uttered the advantages of the loving kindness. From where Buddha uttered this? Then who are the people who gathered into that place? In which place Buddha uttered this desana, discourse? So these are the questions raised by the Venerable Arahant Mahakassapa. Then Venerable Ananda start with, thus I have heard. I heard from the Buddha. This is how all suttas start with this statement. Because wherever Buddha said as discourses, again Buddha preached to the Venerable Ananda. This is the requirement. He required, without me, whatever Buddha preached, let me know again. Because he can overlap, he can collect. That was the advantage in the first Buddhist council. Therefore, Arahant Mahakassapa raised those questions from the Ananda. So, on one occasion, the Blessed One was residing at the monastery of Anathapindika at Jetavana. This is similar. Buddha was living in the Jetavana monastery of the Anathapindika, constructed by the Anathapindika near the Savatthi. So many suttas are preached by the Buddha in Savatthi. Savattiyang viharati Jetavana. So this Savatthi included into the Magadha. Magadha. Buddha was born in between Magadha and Kosala. It is clear, but lived many times in the Magadha Janapada. So Magadha Janapada was ruled by the Ajatasattu. So before the Buddha, it is ruled by the Bimbisara, King Bimbisara. So, but the problem was Ajatasattu killed his father. King Bimbisara was killed by the Ajatasattu. His own son, he killed. So, then Buddha comes to the enlightenment. There was Ajatasattu. Several times he mentioned that one day I will invade the Kosala Janapada. Buddha was silenced. Finally, he invaded and fought Kosala Janapada to the Magadha Janapada. So, but the many years Buddha was living in the Magadha Janapada. So, Savatthi was the capital city of the Magadha Janapada. This is the capital. At that time, Buddha addressed the monks. They replied as Venerable Sir. Then Buddha said that monks, from the freedom of mind by loving kindness meditation, Mettaya bhikkave cheto vimuttiya. When one wants to practice loving kindness, how they start with. So we also want to expand our loving kindness. How we do that? There are 11 advantages of the loving kindness. We also develop. Can we gain those 11 advantages? No. Many people practice the loving kindness meditation, but they cannot gain the advantage. Then what is the fault of that? We have to understand. The problem is we have to understand the way of practicing. The way of practicing. Buddha instructed the way of practice. He starts that from the freedom of mind. Cheto vimutti. First we have to free our mind. How to do that? Because as ordinary people, we have defilements. We have craving, we have greedy, we get angry. We have many defilements. How we control our mind? How we restrain our mind? That is the difficult fact that we are facing day by day. First, we have to practice the Cheto Vimukti. How we practice the Cheto Vimukti? How we make free our mind? We have to practice Samatha Bhavana. Samatha Bhavana. That is in the ordinary level. We have to practice. So, when we discuss regarding the Satipatthana Sutta, we saw how we practice with regard to the Satipatthana. So, this is in the intermediate level. What are the groundworks that we have to follow? So, there are simple things. We have to meet the meditation master, and we have to understand ourselves. If we cannot, we have to raise some questions from the meditation masters, then they understand who is this, then they instruct to follow these ways. This is how we have to practice in the ordinary level. Definitely, in order to develop the Metta Bhavana, loving kindness, we have to practice the Samatha meditation. Samatha meditation. When we practice the Samatha meditation, we can restrain our mind. There are two types of meditations, Samatha Bhavana and Vipassana Bhavana. You know Vipassana, many people practice in the Vipassana Bhavana, insight meditation. Before go to the Vipassana, we have to practice the Samatha. While we are practicing Samatha, we can understand how to restrain our mind. We can understand the way of mind. Then in second level, way of thoughts, Chitta and Chetasika. Chitta and Chetasika. There are two types. We have to understand it. That is called the Chitta Bhavana. Samatha is called the Chitta Bhavana. We understand the way of mind. So once we practice the Samatha Bhavana or Chitta Bhavana, we can go to the next level, that is called the Vipassana Bhavana or Panya Bhavana. We can develop our wisdom, Panya. We can be wise. This is how we have to practice the meditations according to the Buddhism. First, we have to understand our mind and thought. Second, we have to develop our mind through the wisdom. So, first, we have to develop the Cheto Vimutti. We have to free from the defilements. We have to free from the mind. If you have free of mind, you can do many things. Why we say I am complicated, I am confused? That means many thoughts in our mind, many thoughts. We think, we try the struggle to stop some types of the issues. Always we are struggling. That is the problem. We must have free of mind first. That is the very important. Otherwise, we cannot gain those advantages. If we do not have free of mind, if we are complicated completely, we cannot gain those advantages. That is the important. And also, when practice, asevita, we have to practice day by day. Every day we have to practice. Otherwise, cannot obtain the advantages. We have to develop. Day by day, we have to develop loving kindness. We have to develop from morning to evening, the evening to next morning. Day by day, we have to develop. Today, we practice the loving kindness, then start next week. Can we gain the advantages? Cannot. We have to practice every day. That is the problem. We have to live with those thoughts. Bahulikataya, made much of. Time and again we have to practice. Simply we cannot do that. Every time we have to develop. Yanikataya, we have to carry on. We cannot forget them. Always we have to live with them. I am practicing the loving kindness. I am developing the loving kindness. I make it much. I'll carry on. Always we have to live with those thoughts. If we forget them, we cannot gain the advantages. This is how we have to practice the loving kindness. Otherwise, we cannot gain the advantages. Vattu Katha, we have to establish. Otherwise, cannot. We have to maintain Anuttitaya. We have to maintain it. Parichitaya, we have to augment it. Susamaradhaya, properly instigated. So these words are very important to understand the way of loving kindness. How to develop the love of loving kindness. Everybody has loving kindness, but we do not practice it. We do not establish it. We do not maintain it. That is the problem. So likewise, if one practices this loving kindness, 11 advantages are to be expected. Otherwise, don't expect those advantages. Don't expect. If we do not develop well according to these statements, this is how we have to develop. What is the first advantage of the loving kindness? Sukhang supati. He sleeps happily. This is the first advantage of loving kindness. He sleeps happily. Sukhang supati. Do you have good sleep? Some people say yes. Many people say no. If you practice the loving kindness, you can sleep well. Why we can't sleep well? Why we can't sleep well? You suppose that if you have a problem in the house, can you sleep? No, we are thinking. Whole night we are thinking, we are arguing. We are trying to solve those problems. No sleeping. Sleep doesn't come. You suppose that your mind is free. When you go to the bed, you don't know sleep comes. Because your mind is free. If we do not have the free of mind, on the other hand, our mind is complicated, we cannot sleep well. In Sri Lanka, some people say that when we hear Dhamma talk, when we engaging with the Dhamma sharing, we sleep. But in the house, we cannot sleep. Some people say that when we meditate, we sleep. But in the house, even though we struggle much, we can sleep. Then what is the reason? In the mind, their mind is not free. Mind is complicated. When they change their place, in the temple or place where the good place, considered as the good place, our mind is free, no commitments, no problems, no issues. We are happy. That's why they sleep well. Somebody says that I am doing sleeping meditation. They say that sleeping meditation. So some monks also say that. So while you are practicing meditation, if you sleep, let them to sleep. Let them to sleep. because that is a good time to sleep for him, otherwise he cannot sleep well. Another thing which it indicates that his mind is free, that's why he is sleeping. If we do not have the us free of mind, we never sleep happily. Then what we have to do? We have to make a free of mind first. That's why before go to the bed, we have to meditate. We have to make our mind free. We have to keep the good feelings. Practice the loving kindness. So those are the things that we have to practice. Then sleep becomes very easily. This is one advantage. This is the first advantage. Those who practice the loving kindness, they sleep happily. The second, he wakes up happily. Sukhang patibhujyati. The problem is, we struggle to sleep. Then okay, we sleep, but difficult to wake up. Difficult to wake up. If one practices the loving kindness, they wake up happily because mind is free. So once they wake up, mind is not complicated. They have not thought anything wrong. They are free from the defilements because in the morning we must have the good thoughts. If we have bad thoughts, again we are complicated. If we continue, we are stopped last evening, then again we are complicated. Morning is a new beginning. We have to wake up with the new thoughts. Therefore, we must be able to wake up happily. Those who practice the loving kindness, definitely they are able to wake up happily. No need to alarm. No need. So we give the message to the mind, I want to wake up around 4 o'clock. Definitely that's message clear. So that is the way of loving kindness. They are lovable because they are loving kindness. They are practicing it. They sleep well, they wake up well. What is the third advantage of the loving kindness? Na papakan supinam pasati. They may not see the bad dreams. So we struggle to sleep. While sleeping, it is also not comfortable because we see the bad dreams. How many times we have to wake up once we see the bad dreams? Sometimes people are shouting. So many reactions, many things while sleeping because they see the bad dreams. So what are these bad dreams? Our inner senses. Our inner senses. Our mind is complicated. They are reacted even though we are in the sleep. That mind is working because we are not complicated. If we have the free of mind, we do not see any dreams. Our sleep is so comfortable. Sometimes we see unknown people. Some people say that I have fallen into the pits, and also I have fallen from the trees, mountains, and some the aggressive animals. There are many things. That means we are complicated. That's why those complicated thoughts appear as dreams. Sometimes invisible insects, spirits, They're scared of them. There are many things. There's some people come to the temple for blessings. I saw bad dreams. I cannot sleep these days. I'm uncomfortable these days. So bless for me like that. So we can understand their innocence. If we have free of mind, such issues are not with us. So, so those who practice the loving kindness, definitely they do not see the bad dreams. The fourth one is Manusanam Piyohoti. They are dear to the human beings. They are lovable to the human beings. So we like some people, but we don't like some people. We have that arrangement. Sometimes we don't like them. They have not done anything wrong to us. We don't like them. When we see them, no even smile. We don't like them. No any reason. No pleasant. But sometimes when we see those who practice the loving kindness, they are very lovable. They are dear to the whole human beings. Everybody wishes their companion. Everybody wishes. Why it takes place? Because they are good. They are dear to the whole human beings. Because they are practicing the loving kindness. Without any reason, we do not think this man is bad, this man is good. This man seems to be bad. We don't know. They do not judge the people. Sometimes we judge without making any examining. Without examining, we judge the people. We think that he would be like this. Then we make the conclusion. Then we act according to that. So this is the way of life. This is the way of thinking. Because all are human beings. This is the way of thinking of the human beings. But those who practice the loving kindness, all they are dear to human beings. Nobody criticizes him. No criticizes. Because they are dear. They are lovable. This is the fourth advantage. The fifth one, Amanusanam Piyoti, not only to human being, but also the non-humans. Who are the non-humans? There are many non-human beings. They are invisible. Human beings are visible. We can see each other. But non-humans are invisible. We don't know them. We have not seen. But the non-humans can see us. They see us what we are doing, the way of thinking. Sometimes the non-humans invade the mind of the human beings and make some issues, make some problems. That is the way of non-humans. So what we can do for them? The mostly we do transference the merits for them. So we don't know whether they are aggressive or calm. We don't know. So if they are aggressive, we chant some suttas. We can chant them. Or sometimes we transfer the merits. Sometimes we give dana and finally we transfer the merits for them. So this is how we make mental contacts with the non-human beings. Non-human beings. So those who passed away, that means the other hand, departed ones, they are non-humans. We don't know. So we transfer merits for them. Then what will happen after transferring the merits? They bless those who transfer the merits. They bless. So this is how we make the contacts with the non-humans. Some non-human beings support to the human beings. Some of them make problems. So this is the way of non-humans. So, but those who practice the loving kindness, they may not make any troubles to the humans. They will not make the troubles. We don't want to scared of them because we are powerful. Human beings are powerful. They are not powerful than us. Therefore, they do not hurt us. They do not hurt because we have developed mind. We have developed mind because we are practicing the loving kindness. As a result of that, they are dear to the non-humans. Okay, these are the 5 main advantages of the loving kindness. Okay, let's go to the next because we have 11 advantages. Devata Rakkanti. Deities protect them, those who practice the loving kindness. They protect you, deities. So any problems from the Devas, it is not occur. They protect you, they bless you because you are practicing good. You are performing good. Therefore, they protect you. If you have any dangers, you can refrain from them because Devas protect you. And also you transfer the merits for the gods. Akasatta cha bummatta or ettavata cha amhehi. Those are the verses that normally we use for the transference for the gods. They see those who practice the loving kindness. So as a result of those practicing, they protect you. No need to be scared of that. No any problems may not take place. No any problems. You are protected. You have self-preservation. Your self-preservation is the loving kindness. No other preservations we need. That is our weapon. That is our tool. That is our protection. The 7th one is Nasa Agiva Visangva Sattangva Kamati. He is immune from fire, poison and sword. Nobody can kill him. Nobody can kill him. From the fire, the giving poison, so cannot kill them. Cannot use in the tools, weapons, guns, swords. In the time of Buddha, they had only the sword. They didn't have the weapons like today. Yeah, but today we have different types. But even though we have the different type of weapons, we cannot kill some people. They are safe. What is the reason for they are safe? That is their inner development. Inner development. Inner development is the safeguard of them. Therefore, it is said that they are immune from fire. They are safe. Poison and the sword. Cannot kill. They may not pass away regarding those the incidences. They may not make suicide. They may not make suicide. They may not even think to suicide. Why? Because their mind is free. Why we make suicide? They satisfy themselves because we have developed, cultivated the inner sense, inner thoughts. Then why we make suicide? Our life is comfortable. Why we think such? So this is the way of the loving kindness. So this is one sat. The eighth one, Tuatan Chittang Samadhi. This is one of the difficult tasks for everyone in the world, those who practice the meditation. Tuatan Chittang. We cannot concentrate our mind quickly. How many times we need to concentrate our mind? How many hours we need? Can you concentrate quickly within few seconds? Cannot. But those who practice the loving kindness, they can concentrate their mind very quickly. Within few seconds they concentrate. This is the advantage of that. We do not practice loving kindness, therefore we cannot concentrate quickly. Because first we have to restrain our mind, try to understand the defilements. Many thoughts come to our mind. We are fighting against them. How many things we are doing even though others cannot see our mind? Within ourselves, how many times we are fighting each other? We are fighting with our enemies. Enemies are the bad thoughts, bad feelings. They are the enemies. So finally we would be able to overcome all our enemies. If one can overcome all these enemies, that mind is free, they will not born again. In order to do that, we must be able to concentrate very quickly, immediately, very soon, within few seconds. When we sit and close our mind, once we close our mind, we begin our concentration. Is it possible? Is it easy? Not easy. It is not easy. We have to practice the loving kindness in order to develop into such position. Otherwise cannot. That is called the Tuatan Chittang Samadhi. The ninth one, Mukhavanno Vippasidati. Facial expression is beautiful, clear and bright. We don't want to use the creams to make beautiful. Automatically we develop our the facial expression. That is the development of mind. When we see those people, those who practicing the mindfulness, loving kindness, compassion, their facial expression is beautiful. So those who practice the insight meditation, that means the vipassana meditation, their facial expression is deeper than the others. That's deeper. So once they realize the Dhamma or the way of living, their facial expression is deeper than the others. This is how they develop their facial expression. When we see the arahants, they are clear and bright. we can understand. He must be a different one. He must be a different person. I have not seen like that beauty. We see that. So this is the way of the loving kindness. Those who practice the loving kindness, that beauty, the continues our the journey. You suppose that in order to be a Miss Universe, Miss World, in whole world only one can get that chance. So what is the reason? All have born from the mother's womb. All are taking the same foods. Everything is same. All we have five aggregates. The same questions they raise. Same pageants they have. But there is a winner. So they are the practicing of previous births. They have brought something from their previous births. They have practiced like that of loving kindness, compassion, because now they are beauty. So that beauty does not take place immediately. They are compatible with our good deeds. Therefore, if one wants to be handsome or beautiful, they have to practice the loving kindness, compassion. They have to free from their mind. They have to refrain from bad thoughts. Bad thoughts. We have to refrain. We have to get rid of. If we do not have the bad thoughts, our mind is free. We are not complicated. We are comfortable. So our facial expression is clear. When we get angry, what happened to our facial expression? Becoming dark. Face becoming dark when we get angry. We are sweating too much when we get angry. We are uncomfortable. So increase our blood pressure when we get angry. Then our skin starts to change into the dark or grey. This is the way. If we do not get angry, if we develop the loving kindness, the such problems may not occur to the body. It remains as it is because our mind is free. So therefore, those who practice the loving kindness, their facial expression is beautiful, clear and bright. Final two. Asamulho kalankaroti. This is what we want to be. He will have a peaceful death. Peaceful death. This is what we expect one day. We need a peaceful death. Everybody cannot have such peaceful death. When they cause to death, some people are shouting, some people are screaming, some people are making difference. Somebody says something else. They shows they are scared. Different things. When they close to death, and some people the sweating so much, sweating. So different things when they close to the death. Some people are crying. They may cry before the death. So, some people say that I saw like that fire, hmm, flame, hmm, like that they say that I saw fire and flame. They are scared. I saw some people holding the swords. Someone is coming to kill me. They are crying when they lying on the bed. So this is the way of the final moment. Before arising of the death consciousness, still death consciousness does not take place. Before the death consciousness, like that of sceneries, they change themselves. We can recognize, oh, what will happen to this person. Those who have not accumulated the merits, they are acting like that. This is the way of life. But if one practices the loving kindness, definitely they must have the peaceful death as well. This is the advantage of the loving kindness. Do you want a peaceful death? Yes, you would expect our final moment. Our last moment is the very important. Therefore, we must have the peaceful death. What is the final one? If he fails to attain arahantship, so you suppose that you want to gain the arahantship within this life, not next life. He is struggling to gain the arahantship, but he cannot gain. He cannot gain the arahantship. Then what will happen? Once they get the arahantship, they may not born again. They stop the sansaric life. But he was not able to obtain the arahantship. Then what will happen? He will be reborn in the blissful realm of the Brahma world. They will born in the Brahma world. There are 16 Brahma world. So those who practice the loving kindness, they will born in the 5 realms of the Brahma. The top of the Brahma world. There are 5 realms like Aviha, Atappa, Sudasa, Sudasi, Akanitta. These are the main 5 Brahma realms. Definitely they will born in those places and attain the Nibbana. They will not come back here. They will not come back. They will pass away in those Brahma realms. That's why it is said, Uttaring appati vijjanto Brahma lokupago hoti. They will born in the Brahma realms or blissful realms. So that's what finally happened to those who practice the loving kindness. If they cannot obtain the arahantship, they will born there and they will pass away. They may not come back into this secular world. They will pass away. They are also arahants. Like in the Akanita Brahmaloka. That is the highest Brahmaloka in the world. So you can be born there and you can stop this sansaric journey. This is what we need to gain one day. So these are the 11 advantage of the loving kindness. Then what we have to do? We have to practice. Not as an emotion, but as a state. As a state, we have to develop. We have to cultivate. Then we can gain those 11 advantage. So, but you practice this. You practice always, you spread the loving kindness morning to evening, but you may not receive all. Why? We have not practiced according to the teaching of the Buddha. This is the teaching of the Buddha. This is how we have to practice. Every day we have to practice. According to this, then definitely you will be able to receive those 11 advantages. Okay, we have 10 minutes more. Those you have any questions, please let us know. Within few minutes we can buy Dhamma. I am sure that you are tired now. We want to take a rest. We want to practice the loving kindness in our room. On the bed also we can spread.
Good evening, Reverend. This loving kindness, when it arises in our mind as a mental state, apart from friendliness and no ill will, any other characteristic that we can recognize when it arises?
Well, we can recognize what are those thoughts in our mind. Not only that, so once we recognize them, if they are bad thoughts or bad the minds or bad things, we can eliminate. Then again we can make the free of mind. Then once we practice again, those bad feelings come, we eliminate them, recognizing and eliminating. So unless we recognize them as it is objectively, we cannot eliminate. While we are practicing the loving kindness, we recognize what it is. Objectively we understand. Because we have the developed mind, while we are practicing loving kindness, we spread the loving kindness, that's what we gain the power. Through this power, we can get rid of those bad things. So life also successful and also comfortable. And also they understand the deeper senses of the doctrinal facts. For example, angry and the ill will. There is a difference between angry and the ill will. So while practicing, we can understand what is the difference between two. Then how we overcome those bad feelings and gain the new factional doctrine. So this is what we can develop while we are practicing the loving kindness. It is not quite easy, but not quite difficult.
Bhante, this Brahma-vihara, right, is it intrinsic quality or extrinsic quality to the parents? Is it automatic already in their system, or is it being developed over the period of time? Is it intrinsic or extrinsic?
Usually as parents, they have these four qualities. Because they see their children as their world. The world of them is the children. That's why automatically they have these the four qualities. But while they are practicing this, they spread this not only for their children, for others' children. So some parents usually think of their own children only. But once they practice, they see all children are mine. All they are my children. So if they have pain or if they have uncomfortable, so if they have any sort of issues, they give the solution. Not only for their children, but also the other. This is the way of practice. But in ordinary level, every parents have these four qualities. Automatically they have.
So Bhante, that brings me to adopted parents and surrogate mothers.
Sorry?
Surrogate mothers, that means they carry somebody's baby. How will that mother feel when the baby is taken away?
Well, actually, in the Buddha's time, like that of situation, we don't find out in the discourses. Okay, there is a reason why we have to think so. So, in the there are two types of mothers. The one is own mother, second one is stepmother. Who is the most important mother in the world? Either own mother or stepmother. In Buddhism, priority is given to the own mother, not the stepmother. If one kills own mother, cannot prevent that consequences. Cannot prevent. Definitely we have to gain that bad consequences, not the stepmother. Therefore, even though we have two types of mothers, in Buddhism priority is given to the own mother. So, if he has not given that opportunity to that child, stepmother cannot do anything. So that is the mother who gave the birth. Therefore, Buddhism, the significance is given to the own mother. She has that quality. She has, not with the stepmother. But it is depend. It depends. With some reasons, after giving birth, so gives that child to the others. But we can't say that she doesn't have the love. She doesn't have the compassion. But some mothers promise, after giving birth, I will hand over the child, but they may not do. Sometimes they say, I can't do that. So therefore, Buddhism gives the priority to his own mother. Okay, time's up. Yeah, 10 o'clock. Have to finish, huh? Because we are tired since morning. Okay, thank you very much for coming here and listening to Dhamma. As a result of this Dhamma, you may free from every sufferings and dangers. Finally, you may attain the final bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silissa niccang vaddha pacayino chattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukham balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevace ato nibbana sampatti minate samicchetu.